to a Conclave of Baer. Thank you, thank you. What you're going to be hearing is a whole bunch of people that I brainwashed. I didn't coerce them at all into reinterpreting my work in their own musical style. The first thing you're going to hear is Mr. Peter DeZoza, who will be doing 2 songs, and my favorite comment about Peter's interpretation of one of my poems is something I didn't even think of. I have a poem that is Night Comes to the Land of Anger, and Peter said, "Oh, that's like Angerland. It's like a different version of Disneyland."
Exactly.
And then he's like, "Do you know the artist Kenneth Anger?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, it's like a land. Your poem is basically based on Kenneth Anger's work." I was like, "Oh, well, okay, yeah, that's exactly what I meant." So here's Peter.
I stretched that. Thank you. Hi, Oliver. Hi, everyone. Well, I'm talking without, but I did find it to be challenged to use the Night Comes to the Land of Anger for an Anger opening. He had something at the Anthology Film Archives, and I edited it, and it crashed the computer. So and we talked about that just the night before. Oliver, you hear that? I totally just what you said. Do you think he's going to like that you're putting my music to his piece? And even that, I was considering it something that I had the right to do something with. But I do have the right to do something with Oliver's songs. And I've had a long history with this in terms of getting through it, because it would keep taunting me late at night as I was in my dreams. The idea that my toy kingdom was crumbling. My toy kingdom is crumbling. My castle in the clouds is burning. My powers have been stripped. I have been reduced to a golem, a straw man, parlaying with crows, who would sooner pick my stuffing. As you tell me, it will never be the same. I saw only our shadow life on the cave walls. You turned me to the opening. I covered my eyes, not wanting to lose Eurydice to Hadean reality. You tried to plug my ears with wax. I stayed lashed to the mast of my fears, only wanting to hear the sirens of my dreams. You read our future to me. I berated you for being a Cassandra. As the crows pick at me outside of your walled realm, I think of Eurydice's brothers, and pray. Our problems get a decent burial. The other one is called The Nights Are Burning. You'll have to get the album for that. The nights, this is just that night comes to the land of anger. And again, that's Angerland. That could be a theme park. Oliver, it doesn't have to be Kenneth Anger. You know, I just thought it's Hollywood for Kenneth Anger, and that, you know, you got Disneyland already there. So Angerland could just be a generic. It could be in the East Village too. Devouring everything in its path with black hole non-sound. I was fighting to reclaim what was ours. You tried to pull me out of glory's gravitational pull, only to share away in fear. Our orbits clouded by the nebula of duty. I didn't realize that this bilious ichor-filled planet was mixed with you as well. Now as I lay here, filled with earthquake ashes, your sun's eclipse is all I see. And the unnoise of the nocturnal maw is all I hear. Thanks, Oliver.
All right, thanks, Peter. And as he said, there is an album of this. Hence, this is an album release party. The album is $5. It looks like this thing that is behind me.
Cool. Sweet. The cover art.
The cover art actually is by Michael Cavallaro, who I don't think is here, but if he is, he's an amazing comic book artist.
What if he's not here?
What?
If he's not here, what is he?
Oh, well, he's off working is probably what he is. And as I said, he's an amazing comic book artist. But he did the cover art. Major Matt mastered it. And I convinced a whole bunch of people to do music. But more about that later. Now we're going to have... originally, this song on the album is done by a band that doesn't exist anymore. My favorite one. I did nothing to the rest of this band, really. It's done by Hug a Broomstick, which now, so we have Neil Kelly and Friends instead of Hug a Broomstick. Technically, I really think this is really should not be Neil Kelly and Friends. This is Neil Kelly and Wife and Friend. I don't think you count as a friend. I'm sorry, Kelly, you just don't.
Hug a Swiffer.
Yeah, you know, I've heard that before. All right, so while they're mixing or plugging in, remember, it goes in the right hole. That's, yeah, something I never get straight.
What inspired these poems?
Oh yeah, what inspired these poems? People, things, events. Oh, and all this stuff you're going to hear tonight, I was going to say this later, but they're busy setting up. So all these things are actually inspired by this book that I have in my hand that I will be reading. It's a thing made of dead trees, in case anybody doesn't know what a book is. This was done a couple of years ago. It came out a couple of years ago. And those people are now out west. Not that I chased them out there. Okay, so, yeah?
You mentioned that your themes dealt with people, things, and events. What do you don't like those sort of things?
Fuck off. There you go. If you don't like it, I can do horrible things to you. How are we doing on the tuning crew? Yeah, I know. It's true, I do talk a lot.
Do you have the bass and the guitar in? No.
They're actually gonna do Neil and Friends is gonna do 2 songs. The first one is one that's on the album, and the second one is not on the album. It's something that he asked me to write. Actually, Neil was one of the first people in the scene who actually said, "Would you write something for me?" And I said, "Are you sure? You know, my stuff is really dark." And he said, "Yeah, I don't care. Have you heard Hung a Broomstick stuff?"
Good. Think you're good?
You good?
Yeah.
So yes, the first one is on the album. It's a lot fuller, and the second one is
Brand new.
brand new.
Oh, yeah.
So you know what? I'm gonna stay on stage for this one to do something special. You ready? I'm gonna open it up.
Give that man a
Yeah,
mic.
you ready?
Alright, so wait.
Here's one.
Take this mic then.
Yeah, take that mic. So that so I'm not blocking you.
I'm gonna move.
I'll stand off to
This
the
may be
side.
confusing, but I'm moving this mic over here.
I'm gonna stand over
What? This
here.
is crazy.
I'm gonna stand over here. All right.
Stand up on stage. It's your night, buddy.
Yeah, that's true, but we're showcasing you.
We were showcasing you.
Shh.
Alright.
Ready?
Are we?
Yeah.
Check.
Nope.
Nope. Check. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. You guys ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Orgiastic moans, coupling with maniacal laughter and also gasps. A reawakening of sound after forced hibernation. jump, bend or sway, only to alight with blood-wet drops, tendrils extended into the canals where it swims in a maze of frequencies. 59, I believe in screams, strangled cries, wicked fever dreams. 59, I believe in screams. Vibrational ocean for appreciation. Decibel phantasmagoria flows ahead, taunting us only to be fenced in. Clockwise notions of notes and chords, perhaps this vernal ride drives me away, drawn by lunatic lovers, evolution, the music of other spheres. 59, I believe in screams, strangled cries, wicked fever dreams. 59, I believe in screams. 59, I believe in screams, strangled cries, wicked fever dreams. 59, I believe in screams. 59 and this is 61. Dead leaf words crumpling on themselves like another gone day, flaked upon itself, leaving thoughts to the place of mumblers. Partial sounds, reaching only to be swallowed by the significant singularity my mind created around you. It's well shadow casting another starlit ideas up into faint pinpricks, grains of sand screaming. Notice this before they're swept away, drowned by the tide waters, someone else's dirty water now. Our light's blood darkens as the closet of our lives creaks open. Again, we're not the art piece I had hoped. More dead collector's treasure forgotten in the basement. Tendrils of wear emphasize the damp dust mold lined around our bodies. eventually, even caresses will fragment. Bare bones, Bluebeard song, our melody from yet another gone day.
Kelly and friends and me briefly. I thank Neil Kelly for, succumbing to the brainwashing early. So now there's a special treat starting with Peter. Peter's gonna give an introduction.
There's a lot of spoken word in Sidewalk, and we see it sometimes in the comedians. Spoken word in Sidewalk. Some of the legends here include Oliver Baer and John Berger. Combined, they would be called Burger King. They could be the tentacles of Hallmark. Together, they will show the two sides of poetry. One side.
What side's that?
There are two sides, actually. The burger and
You're not gonna
the
use
king. Some people don't need mics.
Hold in the bear.
True, John.
Does not need light.
But there's a counterpoint. Are you going to do like one line and then Oliver does a line and you sort of alternate that way?
Let's see.
Yeah.
It'll be exciting to discover, won't it?
So, Peter, you want to just do a little intro music? Welcome to Point Counterpoint with Burger King. I am obviously for this case I'm Oliver Baer or Father Bear, however you want to make it. And this lowlife over here, as you can tell from our complimented dress, is the amazing John Berger.
Thank you for having me, Mr.
I'm still leaving.
And you are halved. John, I live in a shattered mirror world, having enlisted in an army of fused glass soldiers whose weapons are of mass destruction were forged from shards of a crystalline doll's house, created by the ghosts of a master builder and his crew. The head, gabbing and leery, sends us out his glassy tentacles to gather up the enemy of the people. At night, I lay down under burnt blood skies, tossing, turning, fighting, biting, kicking, scratching, wishing, wondering, wandering in my dreams to get back to you.
Well, that's a good point, Mr. Bear.
Thank you.
I would like to, however, in contrast say, you broke me, Alice. When you left, when you departed this world we once knew so well, when you said that pack of cigarettes is not going to buy itself, and you walked out the door left slightly ajar. You had no right to do that. Bugs could get in. Why did you do that? Why? When you escaped our happy home, never to return, you blasted the better part of me. I missed you and raised armies to find you. Armies of alcohol, armies of arguments, armies of anachronistic assholery, all to no avail. I remembered you and imagined you back in my world where things were right before you left, and I thought someday imagination might be fulfilled. I mourned you and continue to this very day. You wonderful will-o'-the-wisp. When you escaped my view, when I looked out the window and I could no longer see you, when the glass shattered, Alice, I was shattered too.
Huh. Interesting.
Two army poems,
Yeah.
two love poems.
Now,
Point, counterpoint.
it's so true. But John, lightning cracked skies and thunderous mad laughs fill my nights. The echoing orders of the mad tyrant ringing through my days. as we tromp through the city enforcing his Singaporean law. The sitcom mentalities proclaim the wonders of order. Myself and the other beastmen run through the steel trees, rounding up your kind. Mole people withdrawing further into their tunnels, away from us, away from me. When the rats try to subvert the maze, the Minotaur in our group enacts the punishment of Edward II, or orders the most incompetent of us to shoot at their thread. I tell myself this is for you. At least our despot makes the trains run on time.
That Charlie Chaplin sure fucked a lot of young girls. He got married like 19 times, and always to women who were decades junior, and sometimes sophomore. He liked to tell people what to do, which is why he is the only artist to control every aspect of a major motion picture, including makeup and key grab. He liked to tell people what to do, which is why he had to stop the man who stole his mustache. The Great Dictator was produced to get the stash back from Hinkle. He liked to tell people what to do, and so he made his own studio, united in keeping all others from bossing around the little train. He liked to tell people what to do and became the king of New York even when he wasn't allowed to visit. He liked to tell people what to do, Chaplin did, and so he decided to marry every teenager he could, since everybody knows how amenable they can be.
That's so true.
Point to counterpoint.
And that
Movie
concludes-
references and pop culture references and fascist dictator references. It's amazing.
Who could ask for anything more?
Exactly. I kind of idolize that guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
You made the trains run on time. Oh, you mean the other guy?
The other guy, yeah.
Robert Downey.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. That is it.
And
for-
Geraldine Chaplin is. Oh, wait a minute, that was just it?
That was just it, because we did two each. So,
Hey, Geraldine Chaplin. That's the grandmother of Charlie.
And the other thing I have to say is those two poems, plus one more, on the album are not actually in the format you just heard. Yes, they are actually in a classical song cycle created by the man sitting in the back next to John Berger, Gaither Myers, who I have to say taught me a very valuable lesson, which is failure is not a bad thing. Yeah, well, thank you. So the next person who I'm going to clear the stage for here is John Frazier, who I have to say, this man is so prolific. It kind of sucks, and I mean like technical kind of sucking. He has a solo project and another band, which is pretty amazing. Kind of like you were here for Shilpa Ray. They're kind of, I would say, almost a little better than Shilpa Ray. Called Not Waving But Drowning, with Pinky Weitzman. Mason, what's Mason's last name?
Brown.
Mason Brown. And who else is in it?
Matthew Talmadge.
Matthew Talmadge. There you go. So yeah, John is going to be doing another poem that is actually not on the album, that I wrote with his band in mind, and another band called No Grave Like the Sea, and also with Sandy in mind. And I am throwing things around.
What are you even talking about, man?
That's even true. Well, it's right. It's right. I don't really. It doesn't matter whether it's true. Truth. I mean, come on. It just makes a good story.
You're a charlatan. What are you doing?
It is true. I am a charlatan. I can't pull a rabbit out of this hat that I'm wearing. I'd probably eat it anyway.
That's a lot of reading.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you don't want to read one? How's this? Are these in your way? John Frazier, everyone.
It's been snowing for days, cold twilight blinks at me as you become city slush in my arms. Your dark hair dusts our skin. We describe crystalline paths against each other. After whispering, flurries swirl around us, form a blanket of promises, sullied by morning. I try to shovel through the winter, but the blizzard of discontent that blows between us covers it up again. Is this why footsteps lead away from you? Is this why footsteps lead away from you? Is this why footsteps lead away from you?
That was great. The great thing about this is that was really not the song I expected. But that was amazing. And that's the first time I've heard that. That is not on the album, but it really should be. So the next thing that's going to happen is something crazier. I am going to actually read, and Joe Crowe Ryan is going to be doing a physical interpretation of what I am reading. You can call it dance. I'm going to call it physical interpretation. I think we have to clear the stage a bit for this. I'm going to clear the stage so that I can. So we're going to start this the way Joe usually starts most of his sets in honor of him. Are there any questions? And I mean any questions. Yeah. Right, so one. I need one.
Why am I here?
Okay, that's a good one. You're here because you want to see me fall on my ass.
What? Yes. Only if I get the trick.
Well, that's true. Yeah. That's not. I tried to arrange that, but that didn't happen.
Here's a question.
Burger.
When?
Oh, when? When in about in your time or my time?
When?
Yes.
In good time.
The answer is yes. Miss, hey, is that Miss Lily in the front?
What about the hearing impaired?
Are the hearing impaired? Watch my lips.
What?
Watch my legs.
Siphon.
Where do babies come from?
You mean the ones you have for lunch?
Well, we shared those, so we know where they came from.
Oh, okay. Well,
Grade A, by the way, grade A.
Thank you. Thanks. They usually come from people, is what I hear. Usually female people.
Olinditos.
Yes. That's what they tell me. How are we doing on the warm up there? You feel warmed up?
I went outside, warmed up, and now I'm going.
Okay, so I'm going to start. Darkness, warmth, nourishment, and a dark rhythmic pound. These are factors upon which our lives are found. But in the twinkling of an eye, they are taken by a sharp slap to the back, introducing emotions which leave us shaken. For this is how it begins, waking in the night with fearful shadows and creepy feelings, from our ankles to our shins, with a darkness mantra in our heads. Darkness is, as darkness was, and evermore shall be. During adolescence, the environment, inside and outside, domestic and foreign, mixes and feeds our fears, our hopes and dreams, form out of reaction to the pain and suffering we are subjected to by loved ones and strangers. We make love in the dark and the light, moving to a rhythm centuries old. Strange, but this is not love, this is sex. Why then is it called love? Why is it used by us to manipulate our egos over someone else, and at the same time be the most powerful positive emotion? There's a rustling in the air tonight, for the trees chant to Mother Earth through a dying ozone layer. Darkness is, as darkness was, and evermore shall be. If we look for the warmth of love, we are lost in the darkness and loneliness and insecurity. It's amazing what we do for love, the abuse we withstand, and many times we forsake, the tangible nourishment for the intangible. There are also those times when our love is given greater than it is received. These are also the times when the pounding begins. A pulsing sensation, a throbbing, painful feeling, a loud humming, sing-songing. Darkness is as darkness was, and evermore shall be. Here we go. I'm throwing things around again.
Thank you, Oliver.
Okay. We've been listening to Conclave of Baer. I'm going to come around with the mail-in tip jar. That's all they ask you here. So it's a $5 suggested donation, so please get some money ready and put your hands together one more time for a Conclave of Baer.
Thanks. So now we actually have a group we call Podity, or Podity, which is myself, DJ Firehorse, and a man I only know as Dave. Who knows if that's really his name. But we're going to be doing a sort of musically interpretive thing here. But this is a lot more electronic and involves a lot more technology than I'm usually comfortable with, which is why these guys are taking care of it, because it would just, I have no idea how it works. Oh yes, the other thing I should mention is that you can actually get this CD if you don't want the physical CD and you're all technology oriented like these guys. You can get it on the Bandcamp.
The Bandcamp.
The Bandcamp. It's a website I hear where you can download stuff for free or you can pay for it or something like that.
Is it oliverbear.bandcamp?
No, it's a conclave of Baer.bandcamp.com. Yes, the whole conclave. I think you spell it with an O and an F. So, I believe the order was the way I spoke it. So who knows? Yeah, thank you. I'm not out of order. You're out of order. So the other thing is, if you look on SoundCloud under DJ Firehorse, he and I have recorded, I think it's what, five poem things? something like 5 poem things with him doing stuff in the background, usually of some kind of electronic music nature. This is also somewhat, I wouldn't say it's totally different, but usually DJ Firehorse does more reggae-related stuff. This whole, I wasn't gonna grow out my hair and start being, I think we're getting into the zone.
AutoZone.
Thank you. I was waiting for somebody to say AutoZone. Yeah.
You were gonna say.
I think I got a good connection here.
You don't have a good connection? This is usually the music I hear right before the dimensional door opens in my room. Does anybody else have a dimensional door in their bedroom? Or is it only me? It's only me, isn't it? Oh, right, yeah, well, that's true.
Nobody else
Yeah.
in your bedroom.
Well, I would expect that from you, Shindor. Yeah. Am I starting? Or are you guys not ready yet? What? You ready, Pod? Pod's almost ready. The other real reason we're called Podity is because DJ Firehorse and I refer to each other as Pod, because I came up with the idea one time that we both weren't actually real people. We were just pod people.
I'll drink to that.
So we also thought, like, if you just say pod all the time, you can kind of figure out what people are saying. Because it's intonation, it doesn't really matter what the words are. Exactly. So I could just stand here and go, pod, 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 pod.
Meow, meow, meow.
Pod, 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 pod. Pod. Sitting in front of the window, watching the leaves fall, describing ringlets through the air, descending, landing on an earthly bosom, only to crumble and decay the more they are blown by heaven's breath. The lattice dragon sleeps outside your window, its cross-hatched body molting ivy scales. Inside you lie asleep on the bed, your hair winding its way down in spiral contortions across your face, ending its descent at your breasts. Stirred by an inner wind that periodically escapes your mouth, strands fly apart. I wonder whether my attention's degradation is as inevitable. Will I have to gird myself once again and slay the dragon, disturbing the air between us? All right, there you are. Let's play it. That one is on the album. Probably doesn't sound exactly like that. I think it's. I know. It's freaky. It's freaky. It sounds a little different than that. But that's because basically we do this all on the fly, and I really mean on the back of a giant fly. And now I'm throwing things again. So you guys. We're almost ready for the second one. So that one and this other one are sort of elemental poems. The previous one was an air poem. This is going to be an earth poem for all you earth people in the audience. I myself, not really one of those, as some can tell you. But yeah, just don't let the others know. How you guys doing there? Pod? Pod. Okay. Sifting through earth, clay, and loam, searching for something we once called home. Does that sherd, bone, and metallic glint have some other meaning at which to hint? Dirt, rain, falls. My thoughts run through the sieve to the words sullied by mudslide emotions. Earthquake, tremor, orgasm, creating larger fault lines between us. In my mind, the verbal plates grind noisily against each other. There is no mnemonic tectonic shift. I fail to see the artifacts exposed. Dirt, rain, falls. Alrighty. And then, while they're cleaning up, last but not least, definitely not least, because the Trouble Dolls, .5 are going to come up. And I have to say, Sherry Leone of the Trouble Dolls deserves the biggest thank you for this album and things that are on it, because she's been not only extremely supportive of me doing this, but also very helpful. I would not have known about whether band camp was the best thing to do without her, or the fact of the details that you actually have to schedule for setup time and stuff like this. You know, as long as I've been around musicians, I just thought you got up there. Okay, I've seen you take lots of time setting up, but yeah. Breaking down.
It's gotta run like the turtles.
Yeah.
But you're doing a good job.
Yeah? Okay, well,
More
okay.
questions.
More questions?
More questions?
Yeah, well, Peter, you have more questions.
More poetic answers.
What did H.P. Lovecraft invent tentacles?
H.P. Lovecraft did not invent tentacles. Much to the contrary. I know you may think so, but he actually didn't. They existed before. I like to think that they existed probably before the human beings existed. I'm pretty sure they did. In the primeval waters. Nothing like a really large tentacled creature, you know, to freak the hell out of you. John!
Did tentacles invent Lovecraft?
You know, that's a good question. Did tentacles invent Lovecraft? That I don't believe either. But I'm sure they highly influenced him.
Did he mean
Why?
Why? That's a good question. The answer to why is because.
Right.
Because. That's the real answer. Anybody else have a fake answer?
Why
It's a
not?
metaphor
Why
for
not?
Morgan
Why not?
Bank.
Metaphor. Ah, nice. Yes, for the
AKA.
I should have for the geeks in the back, I should have said y equals mx plus b. That's really the answer.
What came first, tentacles or Oliver Bear?
Tentacles came first. And yeah, that's right. The other thing I should mention is that when I'm performing with Podity, which is basically what I just did, other than in DJ Firehorse's apartment, he refers to me as Ollie Tentacles Baer. So if you go to SoundCloud, the stuff is by DJ Firehorse and Ollie Tentacles Baer. And we have discussed actually taking my shirt off.
Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Sorry.
That's okay.
Is that a bass amp working?
Yeah, it's all.
Okay. Sorry, carry on.
That's okay. We have discussed taking our shirts off during that number. And I basically said, you know what?
Don't do it.
I basically said, you guys can take your shirts off, but I'm not. You don't want the tentacles breathing in public. It's not pretty.
What's up with Japanese culture and tentacles?
What's up with Japanese culture and tentacles? Well, the answer to that, I'm going to say, is do we have any Japanese lovers in the audience? Okay, well, I'm going to now basically spit all over the Japanese. Granted, I think they would love that. But the Japanese, in my mind, are the most fetishistic culture on the planet. Probably because they're also one of the more repressed cultures on the planet. But you name something that you think is kind of disgusting sexually, and the Japanese are probably doing something with it.
Pillow doll.
They have pillow dolls. They have pillow dolls. And real dolls. The other quote about the Japanese I like is by my martial arts instructor, which is, if the Japanese had an original idea, it probably died of loneliness. Yeah.
They're by the ocean.
They're by the ocean. That's true. Even their language, is not really truly theirs. It's basically Chinese and Korean. Is really what it is.
The natives of Nippon.
You guys ready?
Hang on, I just want to get this thing.
Yeah, let's just.
Oh yeah, here, let me do that for you.
I don't. If you could explain your whole obsession with tentacles to me.
Okay, my obsession with tentacles is not, in my mind, it's not really an obsession. I just find it very amusing, and it sprung out of me doing a magazine for 10 years.
Yeah, Cthulhu.
Yeah, I did a magazine for 10 years called Cthulhu Sex. It was the first nationally marketed magazine to be marketed as erotic horror. And so I created a character in there that edits the magazine called Father Bear. And he kind of looked like a human being in a monk's robe that you really couldn't see his face, and a whole bunch of tentacles coming out of the rest of him, so he didn't really have a body.
I really love what Peter did when you were reading, so I'm just trying to accompany you on your, your emceeing.
Yeah, thank you. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, good.
Decibel passages crisscross my mind with images and words that bind us together. Invocations slowly filling, midnight tunnels always ending in feather light haze. Jigsaw memories echo crazed and forgotten pleading. Breathless prayers travel ice-lit hallways beating. Pipe sweat and lovers' condensation. Your faith in me was taken as compensation for your heart. Rainforest math and runes and sigils, an ancient god you were making me into from the start. with your attention. This next song is it's a happy song about another dark Oliver poem. They're all out running through fields and meadows, through streets in the rain, waiting on corners, baptized by their mothers, handing on flowers to open arms. Where are the children? For all I see, you and me, but smaller, was by all baked up inside and out. They're all out running away through the meadows, away from the alleys, away from shop corners, packing their souls down hard like snowballs, ready to hide along the way. Where are the children? All I see are you and me, but smaller, with by all banged up inside and out. Well, you tell me the scrapes are from falling, I'm fine, you tell me the cuts are from cooking, I can't sleep, you tell me the swelling's not made up. Where are the children? All I see, you and me, but smaller, with by all banged up inside. Where are the children? All I see are you and me, but smaller, with by all banged up inside and out.
Yeah, thank you. There you go, that's a poem about children. My favorite meal. So that's it for us. Thank you, everybody.
One more.
Yeah.
We're gonna play, actually, we'll play you out.
Oh, okay, they're gonna play me out.
We're gonna play you out.
Four. Yeah, thanks, Al.
Go ahead, talk, keep talking.
Yeah, I'm going to. So, you can get if you want a CD, you can get it from me. It's $5. You can also get a book. The book's $20. The Thing of Dead Leaves, Dead Trees. And next we're gonna have Charles Mansfield, who, let me tell you, he's pretty good. He's not bad, as they say. And clinical trials will be up in Fayaway. They're all pretty damn good. Then you're gonna have some hip hop and beat rhyming later in the evening, which I have to say, I'm not being a fan of this hip hop and rap you people have. This is probably the only hip hop and rap I am a fan of that comes later. They are pretty damn good. What? I mean, humans, Landis. So next time, if there is another next time, I always need more bodies to reinterpret my work. So if you figure out what you want to do, and that's it for me.